Hey guys. Hello, I see I have viewers. How are you today? Hi, Jeanette and Sherry, Stevie, hello. Ondina, I hope I said that right. Hi. Hello, Dixie Belle. Okay, I'm just going to jump in and get started, you guys. As you come on, say hi and Yvonne. Hi, welcome. Let me know where you're tuning in from. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Bianca, owner and artist of Lotus Series Designs, brand ambassador for Dixie Belle Paint Company. We are going to be working on gel stains today. So there's been a lot of demand and requests for no paint gel stains, which are Dixie Belle's line of stains. So we're going to be working with those today. And we are watching from Dixie Belle as well as my page. And I actually shared it to a couple of groups in hopes that some of these questions will get answered. If you have any questions while you have me, go ahead and ask. And I will try to keep an eye on the comments. And without further ado, I guess we'll get to it. Hello, everybody. Yes, Dixie Belle. Where is everybody joining us from? Okay, so actually, before I even get started, let me show you guys some of the things that I've used the no paint gel stains on. If you follow me at all, you know that I love doing stained tops, especially. So here's a piece that I recently did. Actually, I started working on this live last week. Oops. Hold on. Let me get rid of that comment. Okay. So I started working on that live last week. Here's the top. So that is Dixie Belle's Weathered Gray with an aubergine wash. So what I did there was I put a coat of weathered gray down, and then once it was totally dry, and that's going to be about 24 to 48 hours, depending on where you are and your climate, I did a wash of aubergine, which is purple paint, over it, and that's the result. Another example, if you guys remember this one, there's the top. So that is Espresso. That's probably my most frequently used gel stain, but that top has been stripped down and redone in no paint gel stain Espresso, and that's only one coat. So the stains are highly pigmented, and a little bit goes a long way. Here's another piece, same concept. And another one, there's the top. So that one is done in, I think it was Colonial Black or Espresso. I don't really remember. Probably should have checked before I came on here. But you see how rich that is? And the last one I'm going to show you is this Industrial Buffet. Here's the top. So that is a mix of Walnut, Espresso, Colonial Black, and Georgian Cherry. And I'm going to show you all of these colors today. And that picture, the stain looks a little bit brighter than it actually is in person. It was really deep and rich in person. Okay, so with that said, we're going to work on a couple of things today. Let me just make sure I can see your comments. Hi, Olivia from Malta. Oh, thank you, Ton. Hi, Aaron. Okay, let me just, let me move this actually. I was going to do it from the side, but I want to make sure that you guys have the best possible view. So we're going to explore all of the colors today. I have some sample boards ready to go. Come on, camera, you can do it. There we go. Okay. So I already have these all pre-mixed up. So before I even came on, the first thing that you want to do before you use your gel stain is stir them up well. The longer they sit, the more they get kind of cottage cheesy. I don't know. You want them nice and whipped and clean. And gloves are a must, okay? I know they're probably in short supply. Unless you want to be cleaning stain off your hands forever. Okay. So you can apply the no paint gel stains to raw wood, and you can also do it to an existing finish. We're going to be doing it on raw wood today because I really didn't think to have an example for you in an existing finish, but it is possible. I have done it. So we have, let me just go through them with you. We have Georgian Cherry. That's red. It's so pretty on. We've got Picklin White. Okay, so that's a nice bright white. We've got Espresso. This one I'm pretty sure is my favorite. It's my go-to. It's a really, really rich brown. Okay, we've got Walnut. So that's going to be closer to vintage pieces. This is great if you're trying to match the color to an existing finish, especially like the French provincial pieces. A lot of them are done in a walnut finish. We've got Weathered Gray. This is the one that I showed you on that first piece, that cedar chest that I did the aubergine wash over. Yeah, Yvonne loves Espresso. I'd show your comment, but I can't reach my mouse. Yes, Yvonne loves Espresso. Me too. And then here is Colonial Black. Okay, so that's the darkest stain. That is also probably my second most frequented stain of all of these. So I have a couple of sample boards here. Just some random wood. I think it's cherry. My husband's got wood pieces laying around absolutely everywhere. I just sent them through the planer really quick to get the existing finish off. So just some sample boards. And what I wanted to do was show you the different colors, and then we're actually going to stain the entire top of this piece behind me. Okay? You can apply your gel stains using a paintbrush. Okay, you can use these foam brushes. I'm going to use the foam brushes for these, but for the thing behind me, we're actually going to use Dixie Belle's applicator pads. This is my preferred method. You can also use a clean towel. I like the applicator pads more because I feel like I have a lot more control, and I'll get into that more when I use it for this back here. When you use a rag, I find there's a lot more lint that comes off. If I were to use a paintbrush, I'm not trying to clean this. What a mess. I prefer things that are disposable. And for this, I'm just going to use these foam brushes. So let's just randomly pick one, okay? I have Georgian Cherry here on my foam brush, and I just put some on there. And I'm just going to put it on. The thing about gel stain, you guys, is I've seen in especially the chalk mineral paint enthusiast group. If you guys aren't a part of that, look it up. Super great group as far as resources, asking questions, or just simply showing off your work. But one of the things that I find gets asked a lot in that group is it's so streaky. Well, there's a reason for that. Check this out. So it's pretty streaky. I just applied it, right? This is important. You have to wipe away the excess. Otherwise, yes, it is going to be streaky. Okay. So that's just one coat. Also, make sure you're going with the grain of your wood. If you go against, again, you're going to have more streaks. Patty. Patty says, I can't wait to see the red. That's the red. We started with it. I think that we're on the same frequency here. So that's just one coat. I could wait and do a second coat if I wanted it to be more rich. Different wood types are going to take the stain differently. Let's jump to, let's see. I have Weathered Gray now, okay? So I'm just putting some on there. And I'm being pretty generous. Okay. Again, I'm going to wipe that back. Otherwise, that's going to be a hot mess. So that's Weathered Gray. Okay, let's jump to another one. Let's try, what is this? The black, Colonial Black. So the black, I said, was very, very rich. Okay, so that's it on. And let's wipe it back. Okay, it's coming out pretty splotchy on this particular wood. You're going to see it on this. It's going to come out really rich and beautiful. I didn't really do anything to this wood other than plane it down. It's been sitting outside, but I really just wanted to give you guys a demonstration. So If I were serious about this, I would probably go back in this instance and go ahead and apply another coat after letting it dry completely. I think because it's been sitting outside in the Arizona sun, it's just kind of, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It doesn't, sorry. I get all upset with the sun. I saw a meme today, you guys, and it's like, you remember that level in Super Mario 3 when the sun was trying to kill you? That's how it feels living in Arizona. Okay, so I'm going to reach for walnut. I really wanted to show you guys all the colors so that as you're making your decisions, you have something to reference. So this is walnut. If I were doing this on like a pine, it would really take the color. I think the more porous the wood, the more it penetrates and the deeper the color, the more rich. Okay, so that's walnut. See how I said that would be a great one to match any existing finishes that you might have on some of the vintage furniture pieces. Hi, Solly. Yeah, Connie says wood conditioner prior to staining makes a huge difference on the look as well. It does. I did that here. You jumped the gun, Connie. Michelle wants to know, do you have an aqua color? Not in the gel stains, but I do believe that there's one in the Voodoo water-based stains. Okay, so that's walnut. What am I missing? Espresso. This one's my jam. This is probably, like I said, when I'm staining, I typically go for this one. I am a huge fan of just the dark, rich stains. Okay. So you see the difference between the walnut and the espresso. Just wipe it back a little bit. So it's deeper. Again, probably not the greatest piece of wood to demonstrate this on. Connie's right. Had I went ahead and treated it with wood conditioner, that would have helped. But I didn't, and here we are. And the last one I'm reaching for is the Picklin White. All right, so that's white. Let's find a clean side of this rag, especially because I'm wiping away the white. Yeah, Lorna, what did you guys call them? Voodoo? Yeah, there's a Voodoo stain. I'll grab it off the shelf in a sec, actually. Let me wipe back the white. Oh, it took the white really nice. There's the white. Trying to get a good angle. Okay. There's our sample board. So that's all 6 of the no pain gel stains, which are the oil-based stains. Just for the sake of letting you guys see, I don't have all of the Voodoo gel stains, but I have some of them. They've been sitting on the shelf a little bit, so they need a good shaking. But I have the denim. So these are water-based stains, and then this is Up in Smoke. That's gray. Tobacco Road is a nice brown, actually. This is a really nice one. I've been meaning to give that one a shot. Then there's Black Magic and White Magic. So these are a nice alternative. Again, they're water-based, so they're going to be differently. I know a lot of people, if Aaron's on here still, I know he said that he uses them to glaze quite a bit. But for the sake of today, we're just going to be focusing on the oil-based stains. So if I wanted to do another coat, like I said, I would wait for these to dry 100% before doing another coat. A question that I'm sure is going to pop up, if it hasn't yet, is how do you seal them? You can use any of the Dixie Belle top coats, including the gator hide. It's really up to you. I just want to stress you guys, make sure it is totally dry before using a water-based product on top, okay? So let me just get this stuff out of the way really quick, and then I want to stain the top with you guys. In the meantime, do you have any questions? I just saw a question. Where did it go? Jeanette. Can you do a blend of tones, like long swipes of gray, white, like a farmhouse look? You totally can. That's a really good question. I have actually layered these things. So I have done, I wish I had an example. I have a vanity that's been sitting in the other room for literally like 7 months. And I started with a coat of stain. And then I think I did so I think I started with the weathered gray, started with a coat of that, and then I added the Picklin White, and then I think I added some paint to it. So I was able to layer, and I have a really cool look on the top. But, you know, it's in the unfinished projects pile. Okay, so I want to do this top with you guys. I'll get your comment off there in just a sec, Jeanette. Yes, you totally can layer them up. I have actually done tops in, like, for example, gray. And I'm like, ooh, you know what? That really didn't come out the way that I was hoping for. And then I've gone over it using a different color. So that's an option too. Yes, Aaron, after paint has dried. So Aaron said he uses the Voodoo gel stains after the paint has dried to glaze. Solly. Solly, I'm in the US. Do you really want any of us over there right now? I mean, I'm just saying, but thank you. Okay. Yes, exactly. So Yvonne, I would think you could experiment on scrap wood to get the tone you want. Absolutely. Okay, so I'm going to actually, here, hold on. I'm going to have to, don't want to get my skin oils all over this. Okay, so before I show you this, let me show you where I came from, you guys, okay? Before. Okay, so that's what it looked like before. And I actually stripped it. So normally I would sand the existing finish off. This time I stripped it. And really it's because the veneer looked a little bit thin. I didn't want to risk going through the veneer. So I just stripped it. Not really fun. Some people enjoy it. It's not really for me. There's me scraping it off. And then that's after I stripped it. And then I washed away the stripping residue using acetone. So that's me sanding it. I did all of this morning, you guys, and that's with 220 grit sandpaper. My goal was really just to smooth out the substrate. For the edges, I used the Surf Prep fine pad to do the edges. And then once I was done, I just used a tack cloth to get rid of the excess sanding dust. What I don't have a picture of, you guys, I apologize, is the wood conditioner portion. The wood was looking just, I don't know, it was looking so thirsty. And I could just kind of tell that it was probably going to need something, a layer of something before I stained it. So I did put some pre-stained / wood conditioner down on this before moving on to the step. So I am going to reach for, if I can find it, my espresso. Here we go. And I'm going to grab an applicator pad. Bring you in a little bit closer. Wrong way. Here we go. Okay. Linda wants to know, does it have to go on raw wood? No. While I'm getting this out, I'll talk about that. So it does not have to go on raw wood. That's the cool thing about gel stain, is that it can go on a pre-existing finish. So the process for that would be to clean your piece like you would as if you were going to paint it using white lightning. And then you can use the rad pads, or you can use like 220 grit sandpaper, and you want to wet sand. I don't have a video on that. I know there's tons of them out there, but you want to make sure that you're wet sanding. So that way, as you're scuffing up your finish, getting it ready for the stain, you're not actually getting an uneven finish. So once you get it nice and scuffed evenly, okay, and you need to be careful not to overdo it in some parts. Then you'll be able to do gel stain. And I have done it before. I have a mid-century chair also in the unfinished projects pile that I did that to. And it came out really beautiful. One of these days, I'm going to finish these things. Okay. Hi, Amy. Lisa, it's in the other room. I don't know. I don't remember. It was on clearance at Home Depot. They don't even make it anymore. Okay. All right. So I said earlier that I would tell you why I like these applicator pads more. For me, I just feel like I have more control. Okay. I don't like using a paintbrush because I don't want to clean it. I could use a rag, but then I'm like kind of fumbling trying to get like a flat surface so I don't get weird streaks when I'm staining. Okay. And it also is just very linty. I prefer these. You can get them from Dixie Belle along with your stain purchase. So the first thing I do is I'll put some onto my applicator pad. Then I'll just start to work it in. Sorry if you guys can hear my squeaky table. It's getting kind of rickety. It's kind of old. Okay. So do you see the difference already? It's taking that stain really, really well. Again, notice how I'm going with the grain of the wood. So I'm not going this way. Okay, I'm going with the grain. And I have to say the wood grain on this is just gorgeous. So I'm glad that I'm staining it rather than covering it up. Yes, Dixie Belle answered it already, but I'm going to answer it as well. Judy wants to know if this is an oil-based stain, and it is. Okay, so again, I'm just putting it on. See how rich that is already? And again, this is just one coat. See how this wood has taken it a lot better than our sample boards? I did put some conditioner on it beforehand. I don't always. Actually, most of the time I don't. But I don't know. Old piece. Can you see the piece behind me? I wish you could see the bottom part. My poor husband. I had him fixing that thing. The whole bottom structure needed to be torn apart so he can put it back together properly. Okay. Almost done here. Thank you, Cheryl. Cheryl says it's so pretty. Okay, so it's kind of streaky though. Let me just lift it up and show you. Hopefully you can see it. I know there's some glare, but it's streaky, right? This is why I like the applicator pads. I'm going to use that clean side to wipe the excess back. This is very important, you guys. Don't make the mistake of leaving the excess on there, or you will have a streaky, splotchy mess. Again, different woods will take the stain differently. So one of my favorite wood types to stain is mahogany. It takes it, I mean, it's just so deep and rich with just one coat. As much as I don't care to paint it mahogany because it's just a pain because it bleeds a lot, but the stain penetration is just top notch. Okay, so what do you think? That's just one coat of espresso. It probably looks brighter on your screen than I have it here. If you decide, so say that this was yours and you decide, you know what, it needs to be deeper, 24 to 48 hours, add another coat, okay? Here in the hot desert, the dry climate of Arizona, I really don't even need to wait 24 hours. So while I have my rag out, I'm just going to do the edges. Make sure I did a thorough job underneath here. And also, if I can, I like to do the backside too. So the backside of it also went through the process at the top, and the sides did, of getting the strip job. And again, I'm just flipping my applicator pad over to wipe away any excess so I don't have choppiness. It needs to be uniform. Okay. Looks pretty good to me. There is one section. Nope, not on this. I got it pretty good. Sometimes, I know you probably can't see it, but sometimes your wood will have like divots, little nicks, okay? Actually, there's kind of a, can you see that there? See how I kind of missed that? Oftentimes I'll just take like the very corner and just get all up in there. Okay. Anyway, this is going to be really beautiful. I'm glad that I was able to salvage the top. I will show you the before in just a second. I just need to get these gloves off. All right. Let's move this to the side so I can sit next to it. Okay, let me show you the before one more time. That's the before. Okay. So again, I stripped it. I did not sand it this time. I normally sand, but again, the veneer just didn't seem like it was going to give me a whole lot of wiggle room. So I stripped it down, and that's it stripped. That's it sanded. And we are here now. Okay, so it looks pretty good. And actually, it's pretty close to the existing finish on this, but I know once I clean this with white lining, the color is going to change because this thing is old and it's got that alligator finish going on, so it's going to take some work. But let me see if you guys have any questions. Megan wants to know, are the applicator pads reusable? I wouldn't recommend it. I buy them just to throw them away. I wouldn't want to sit there and try to get all of the oils out of every fiber of the applicator pad. However, I have kept them before and put them into like a sandwich baggie if I knew I was going to be doing something in that same color stain in the near future. But I probably wouldn't leave it like that for too long. You know, I'm not really sure. Tammy says, it's interesting that you use 220 grit sandpaper. I thought that would close up the grain. No, not really. I use 220 for everything. I've been using 220 grit for staining for years, and this is what I get. It's drying, so you can kind of see it getting absorbed. Look at the grain, though. I really wanted to make sure that we could hold on to that pattern. Okay. Yeah, Cheryl, exactly. You know, oil-based, I would just throw them out. Yeah, exactly, Connie. She says, it doesn't really look like you need a second coat. Great coverage. That is the beauty of gel stain. And I probably won't. Now that I'm looking at it, it's starting to dry. I'm starting to see how it's going to penetrate. I'm probably going to leave it. I doubt I'm going to go in and do a second coat because I don't want it to be so rich that I lose the beauty of the wood grain that's on top. Deb wants to know, how do you deal with an alligator finish? I have a beautiful piece I'm ready to finish. I sand it off. That's what I do. You know, okay, Pam wants to know, can you use an espresso gel stain over a white painted door? I mean, it's just going to look like stained paint, if that makes sense. You know what, try a little bit, maybe paint something on like a sample board and let it sit and then put the stain on there. I haven't tried that. Dixie Belle, maybe you can answer that. I have not done that. Interesting question. Okay, this is a good one. Jeanette, can you put a coat of slick stick on a pre-existing and then use this? Now, slick stick is white. Um, I mean, you could, but you're going to end up with, you're going to end up covering up your wood grain. So I'm glad that you asked that though, because I'm sure people want to know. It would be like the same thing. It would be like putting stain over white paint. Okay, let me just see if we have any other questions that I missed, and then I think we're going to be good here. Okay, good question, Samantha. Do you apply clear boss prior to stop bleed through? I do with paint. Don't put clear boss underneath your stain, or the stain, the oil-based stain, will not penetrate the wood. Okay, I did that by accident one time. I got a little bit of boss onto a section that I was trying to stain, and then when I went to stain it, and it didn't take it at all. It just kind of curled off. So good question. I'm glad that you asked that. Yes, Cheryl, it depends, but yes, you can use mineral spirits to smooth it out. I like the thick consistency of it. I suppose that would just be dependent on what you prefer. And that, yes, mahogany is great. Victoria, it's going to take about 24 to 48 hours to dry. If you're anywhere near the desert like me, it's going to be faster. Yeah, you know what? I hadn't thought about that, Yvonne, but that's probably true. Denatured alcohol on alligator finish. That's true. I might try that on this, actually. Okay. So if you guys have any other questions, go ahead and drop them into the comments of this. If you're on the replay, don't be shy. Drop your comments and your questions in. I will try to come back. I usually come back at least once on the Dixie Belle page and answer the questions. On my page, you're probably going to get a faster response. So the link to follow me is up in the description, as well as the link to purchase the gel stains. And then also you can use that link that's up in the description to find your retailer who may have them in stock as well. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'll be back next week, next Thursday at 3 o'clock Eastern, 12 o'clock Mountain Standard Time right here. And I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Bye.